make sure you sign in. If you don't sign in, you are not part of it here. So please make sure you sign in. So we are going to be doing CPR, AED, which is the defibrillator, and choking, along with a little bit of stop the bleed. I will introduce everyone to you. I think you know most of us. I'm Deanna Hess. I'm one of the nurses here. I'm the chairman of the department. We have Carly Gerhardt, who is the certified school nurse at Howe, a little bit at the high school, a little bit at Lincoln. She's kind of everywhere. Hillary Bauer is our certified school nurse at Foster, Markham, and Hoover. Lauren Seuss, I'm sure most of you know, the certified school nurse at the Jefferson Complex. Joe Sable's walking over here. You know, she's at Melanie, Washington. Dolores Shilkin is one of our substitute nurses, who's one of our instructors here also. And Frank is one of our high school PE, phys ed, everything teacher. He's helping us out also. Janet McHugh is coming up from the back. She's our high school certified school nurse. So we are all here to kind of do a different program for you for CPR. What we want to do is what's called a family and friends CPR. Because it's group-wise, the American Heart Association a few years ago came up with this group setting program that we could do because you're really not supposed to teach CPR in a group. But it was a way that we could have everyone learn everything, be covered under the Good Samaritan Act. Even though you won't be certified, because you are knowledgeable, you will be covered. What the difference is with family and friends is for adults and adults only. It is hands-on, and it's only hands. You don't have to do any breaths for them. You still have to check the scene, call, and do all of that, which we will get into, but it is only chest compressions. In adults, the biggest reason they're going to probably not be responsive is because it's a heart issue. With family and friends, in child and infants, it is still compressions and breaths, because normally it is a breathing issue with them unless they have a documented heart condition. So we will demonstrate and show you that, and you will have time to practice all of this today because it's a smaller group. So we will get through all of that for you. The Good Samaritan Act, in case everybody's not aware of it, is basically non-medical personnel are covered for helping somebody that is in medical distress as long as you don't go above what you were trained in. Okay, so if you don't know the breaths, how to do them in adults, but you do them, could you possibly not be covered? Yes, but it's not going to happen. So again, they did this about 2 or 3 years ago because we really felt strongly that there was a need for chest compressions only out there in adults, and this was a great way to get it for everybody to be trained for it. Okay. We're also going to do choking, so we'll do conscious adult, child, and infant choking, and we will also show you how to use tourniquets and explain to you where they are and exactly what tourniquets and everything are. Okay, questions to start with? And we talk fast, so tell us to slow down if we go too fast. Okay, so we'll turn it over to Carly for her check call care.
All right, so whenever you arrive on a scene where it looks like someone is in need of help, you want to remember the 3 C's, check, call, care. So first you're going to go up, check the scene, make sure it's safe for you. Just like on an airplane, whenever the oxygen masks come down, they say put yours on first before you help someone else. You're not going to be any help to someone if you're not safe first. So once you realize that the scene is safe, you're going to check on them. Hey, buddy, are you okay? Are you okay? If they respond and are conscious, you're going to say, I'm trained, can I help you? And then you'll go on with whatever first aid care they would need. If they're unconscious, you want to look, listen, and feel for 10 seconds. See if you're hearing any breath sounds, if there's any movement. If there's none of that, you want to make sure that you get them into a safe position. So if they're not laying on their back and you have to move them, you want to support their neck, drag them, get them on their back, so then if compressions need to be started, they're in the right position for it. If someone is around, you're going to look directly at them. Hey, you call 911. You go get me an AED, so then help can be on the way. And then you'll start your care, so you would start into your compressions. Some things that may make the scene unsafe would be things like if you see needles on the ground, if it's close to dangerous traffic, if they're on a slope, if there's an electric circuit close by. Once the scene is safe, if you have access to gloves to keep, it's another barrier to help keep you safe. I'll review quickly the correct way to put on and remove gloves for you. I'll stand up so you can see a little bit better. So once your gloves are on, you're helping the person, protecting yourself, and it's time to remove the gloves. You want dirty to dirty, clean to clean. So the outsides are dirty, you're gonna take a hold of the outside with the dirty part of your other glove, roll it in a ball, roll it in your other hand. This hand is now clean, take it underneath of your glove so it's against your clean skin, roll it up so that the inside of your glove is now on the outside. It's in a ball, you can toss it. So the survival chain, you want early access, early CPR, early defibrillation, and early advanced care. The sooner that someone receives care, the better the outcome is for that person. So we will now turn it over to Lauren. She's going to talk about stop the bleed and the tourniquets.
So for Stop the Bleed, we have kits in office. They connected to the red bag, so your nurse has them on them wherever she goes. But the kits have the black tourniquet in it. We have combat gauze to fill any wounds, lacerations, and then we also have many compression bandages. We're going to work with you so that way you can go through the different tourniquets. We're going to break into groups, but we also have homemade tourniquets. That way you guys know what to do in the classroom to using them. So once we break off after the Heimlich, we will use our compressions, or our tourniquets. So for the black tourniquet, you're going to open it up, raise it up the arm as high as you can above the laceration, and you're going to use the twist, and you will twist it as tight as it can until the bleeding stops. When we demonstrate on each other, twist it until your partner says it hurts. Don't keep going because, well, we just don't want to injure you. And then it'll snap right into an area to hold the tourniquet in place. For the makeshift, so you'll have just a piece of gauze. You'll wrap it around the arm, and then place your pencil, pen. The high school figured out you can use our badges, whatever you can find in your classroom to make the tourniquet. Hold it, twist it as tight as it can go until the bleeding stops. Once you get to that point, take the remainder, wrap it, so that way the tourniquet does not move on the student. And again, we will demonstrate all of that with you after we go through the Heimlich.
All right, so I'm doing choking. So the universal sign, before I even start, I just want to point out 3 times this year, in this district, Heimlich maneuver has been used successfully to save kids. Once in the high school cafeteria by an employee, very successful, saved them. Once in middle school, very successful, saved a student. And also, I got an email from a teacher at the high school that said, "Hey Janet, maybe you guys teach at work." So my daughter was choking over the weekend, and it was really scary, but I did what you showed us, and this object came flying out, and she's okay. So it's just 3 times this year. The universal sign for choking is your hands are wrapped around your neck. But remember, just because it's the universal sign doesn't mean that everybody does that. So somebody can be choking without doing that. Unconscious choking, there's 3 age groups: infants, children, and adults. Infants are newborn to 12 months. Children are 1 to 8 years old, or signs of puberty, and adults are 9 and older, or signs of puberty and older. All right. If you see, adults usually choke on food. Children and infants usually choke on toys and objects, which are a little bit harder to get out. So you'll want to remember that. If you see somebody that you think is choking, obviously check the scene, like Carly said, call 911. Approach the person from the front because they're already going to be scared and panicked because they can't breathe and you don't want to scare them. So approach them from the front. Tell them you're trained in the Heimlich maneuver and ask permission to help. If they say yes, you're going to proceed. If they say no, you're not going to help. Once they pass out and are unconscious, then it's assumed consent, and then you can help them. All right, another thing people will do, and it doesn't seem rational in a calm setting, but flight or flight, you may try and help them and they may run away. Let them run. You can't run very far if you can't breathe. They'll either stop and let you help them, or they'll pass out and again you'll help them. So, they're choking, they've given you permission to help. The first thing you're going to ask them is, can you talk? Can you cough? If they're talking or coughing, even if they're choking a lot, you're going to allow them to continue to cough and try and get the object out. If they develop I call it a barky wheeze kind of thing, that they're not moving enough air, then you're going to assist them. Continue to stay with them. If they start to turn blue or their lips start turning blue, they call that cyanotic, then you're going to help. So, somebody obviously needs assistance. This is how it works. Okay, so you're going to come up, you're going to stand behind the victim, and you want them to stand legs apart wide. If you're behind them, you may need to, again, they're panicked, they can't breathe. You may need to use your foot to kind of do that. Now, it's the rescuer, and you're in the third group. A lot of the rescuer wants to stand like this. You do not want to stand like the victim, because if they pass out and fall behind you, you're going to lose your balance and you're going to go back and fall. So the rescuer puts one foot between their legs, one foot back. That way, if you get knocked down, you've got your lower foot to support you. And if they pass out, you can help lower them down so they don't hit their head. Victim, legs apart. Rescuer, one foot in between, one foot back. You are going to mark, you're going to take your hand. Your little finger goes to the belly button. The thumb goes beneath the breast sternum. So in between that marker, your thumb and your little finger, you're going to take your fist. You're going to put it in between the two. And you're going to take your other hand and hold it. And in and up, like a hook or a J. In and up, in and up, in and up. You're going to do that as many times as until they either cough the object out or they go unconscious, in which case you lay them to the floor and then you begin CPR, and we'll review that later. A lot of common mistakes I've seen, again in the third group, the rescuers want to stand like this, we've got to stand like this. Also, a lot of people are making a fist, but they're putting this flat part of their fist against the belly. You want the front, like you're going to talk to a person, if you will, like a little puppet. You want that part against your stomach, in and up, in and up, in and up. For conscious choking, children are treated almost the same as adults with one exception. They're shorter. So you do the same exact thing, only you go down on one knee. You go behind them again, finger and thumb on your markers, belly button beneath the sternum. Your other hand makes a fist, goes in and up again until it comes out or until they go unconscious. Infants, different. Major difference. What am I doing? Okay. So with an infant, their neck muscles are weaker. They can't. They have large heads. Their bones are softer, and they can't talk. You can't go up to a baby and say, "Are you choking? Are you choking?" can't answer you. So if a baby is turning blue, and they will turn blue quickly, you're going to assume that they're choking, and you're going to check for an object. You put your little finger, you press down on the tongue, pull the jaw out, and you look for an object. Be careful not to puncture the roof of the mouth. What did I want to say? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Okay, so we're gonna start. So this baby doesn't easy for me to hold. It's maybe 2 pounds. Real babies, if they're 7 months old and choking on a Cheerio or something like that, they're probably going to be more around 17 pounds. Some babies are 10 pounds at birth, so by the time they're 10 months old, they're pretty heavy. So it's not hard to do. Be aware that this baby needs to flip with my forearm when you get a real baby sandwich. Okay, you need to support their head and use both arms. So your arms are the bread, if you will. The baby's the meat and cheese between. I've had so many people that are like taking their hands off. They don't know which, are you right or left arm? Use both. Flip. Oh, this is what I was forgetting. So they're heavy. You're going to want to use, you're going to want to use your leg or sit in it to help support the weight of the baby. If you don't have a chair around, lean against a wall if you have to, a table, the podium, anything, okay? So we start with 5 thrusts. You have the baby down, we're using gravity to help. You take the butt of your hand, 5 blows between the shoulder blades, not down by the bum or the lumbar region, between the shoulder blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't make a fist because you don't want to punch them in the back of the head with your knuckles. Open hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Support the head, flip, check to see if there's an object. If there's not, you're going to use your 2 fingers between the nipple lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check for an object. Support the head. Another thing that we've seen a lot of today is people are going like this. You don't want to choke the baby when you flip them back and forth, and you don't want to poke their eyes out. So you want to support them the best that you can. Flip, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Support the head. Flip, check. 2 fingers between the nipple line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 3 exceptions. Oh, if you ever have to use this technique in a school setting, it is an automatic 911 call. No ifs, no ands, no buts. If the parents come and want to wave off the ambulance, that's fine. But in a school setting, it's an automatic 911 call. It's recommended even outside because there may be an object still stuck in the esophagus. You may have microscopic tears coming up. So it is recommended 911, but it's automatic in the school. And there's 3 exceptions to what I just told you. The first 3. The first one is a pregnant lady. You cannot do abdominal thrust on a pregnant woman. So what you're going to do is use the breastbone. Okay, the sternum, and you're going to press there, and an up, and an up, and an up. If a person is in a wheelchair, usually these days they're like hover-around wheelchairs, take the arms to the side, get behind the wheelchair, you do it behind the wheelchair. If they go unconscious, you lower them to the floor, start CPR. If somebody is so large or obese, or maybe you're just a tiny person with, if you're 5'2", it's going to be harder to go around that person who may be larger than you. And if there's nobody else to assist and you're by yourself, you're going to stand that person that's bigger than you against the wall. This is not ideal, but Mertz has said it works and it is proven to be effective. You're going to take your shoulder, hit that sweet spot, and use your body weight in and out to try and get it out. Now, if they are heavier, you're not going to see them passing out, you're not behind them. If they were to pass out on you, just be very careful. But that's what you're going to do. If you're by yourself, you can use a chair. If you're taller like me, you're just going to, again, put it on that sweet spot and just kind of wail on it to try and get it out. Or if I could use maybe this table because I'm tall, you're going to put your right there and just use that pressure to get in and up. And I think by yourself, wheelchair pregnant, yeah. So, yeah. Any questions? All right, so we're going to break up into groups. This half of the room is going to come up and do Stop the Bleed. This half of the room is going to go in the back to work on conscious choking.